Excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. Yeah. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence, so shows what I know.
Fighters are weighing in on why Canelo Alvarez is heavily favored against Terence Crawford. Boxing legend Mike Tyson isn't convinced this is a fair fight, raising concerns about Crawford's odds. He warns this matchup might not end well for Crawford, citing Canelo's size, power, and relentless pressure as major hurdles. Tyson sees this as a risky move for Crawford, suggesting the fight could be a one-sided battle in Canelo's favor.
You guys see this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
It's, I don't know. I guess wasn't used to having money. It's when I have one, you know, you're not accustomed to that shit, man.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, this shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody with it, what's the purpose of having it?
David Benavidez sees Canelo Alvarez as a source of inspiration. He views the upcoming Canelo vs. Crawford fight as a thrilling and commendable matchup. Benavidez's admiration for Canelo's skills and accomplishments in the ring highlights his optimistic perspective on what promises to be an exciting bout.
Looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question. But do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's, like, you know?
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
Ryan Garcia highlights Canelo's physical advantages, pointing to his strength, size, and power. He argues these traits give Canelo a clear edge over Crawford, who's moving up in weight classes. Garcia believes the significant weight difference could be a major hurdle for Crawford, making it tough to counter Canelo's sheer physical dominance.
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, right? He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is
I
that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you think of that?
I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one. I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like, why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, they might sue me.
Sean Porter has raised concerns about how Crawford will handle Canelo's punching power, given Canelo's reputation for devastating blows. Porter doubts Crawford's ability to withstand such force, especially with the jump in weight classes. This worry mirrors broader doubts about Crawford's capacity to endure the physical toll of facing a naturally bigger, stronger opponent.
the others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Mikey Garcia predicts Canelo will win the fight, citing his size and power as key advantages. He believes these factors will heavily influence the outcome, with Canelo's physical dominance serving as the decisive edge in this highly anticipated matchup.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154. And he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Roy Jones Jr. has praised Canelo's skills while acknowledging Crawford's ambition to challenge the best. He suggests that if Crawford can't overcome Canelo, it could mark a pivotal moment in his career, especially given Canelo's reputation as one of boxing's elite fighters.
A lot of people are saying, like, hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Robert Garcia has analyzed the fight and leans toward a Canelo victory. While specific details of his breakdown aren't provided, his assessment aligns with the majority opinion favoring Canelo, likely due to factors like size, power, and experience at higher weight classes. Garcia believes if Terence Crawford fights Canelo Alvarez, it'll be for the massive payday. He thinks Crawford has already achieved enough, secured his future, and lives responsibly, so he doesn't need to fight anymore. However, if the fight happens, Garcia predicts Crawford will put up a competitive effort for 6 to 8 rounds before Canelo takes control. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and strength but believes Canelo's power and size will overwhelm him in the later rounds. While Crawford might win the early rounds, Garcia ultimately sees Canelo dominating as the fight progresses.
Robert, what's a smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo
by decision? Because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
No, it's gonna be close.
3 weight class?
Maybe 3-4-1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No. When you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2-1.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell, what do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights at this level? It's going to be, finally you guys will be, the first time you're ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We're a corner at Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event?
Yeah.
Promoter Eddie Hearn is skeptical about Crawford's chances against Canelo, pointing to the significant weight difference as a major issue. He finds it astonishing that Crawford is taking on such a challenge, suggesting the physical gap might be too large for Crawford to overcome.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has praised Canelo, calling him one of the era's top boxers and a great fighter. While he doesn't directly predict the fight's outcome, Davis's admiration for Canelo highlights the immense respect he commands within the boxing world.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself. So just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is pretty touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already. If we being real, I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys, Canelo probably the only one, but he's going out the door. So
Teddy Atlas praises Canelo, emphasizing his size, strength, and power as a unified champion with remarkable achievements. He notes that facing a fighter of Canelo's caliber is a monumental challenge. However, Atlas also questions whether Canelo can handle a smaller, faster, and more defensive opponent. Speed, agility, and movement could be decisive factors in this fight. Canelo has shown moments of slowing down, especially as he ages, and his opponent's slick footwork and defensive skills might pose problems. While both fighters are aging, their styles and strengths will shape the outcome. Experience, strategy, and adaptability will play crucial roles in this intriguing matchup.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
Sports commentator Stephen A. S. Smith has weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Crawford's skill but questioning his ability to hurt Canelo. Smith believes if Crawford can't land impactful punches, Canelo will relentlessly pressure him, using his power advantage to dominate the fight.
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
I think it was
Robinson, Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately. He wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight. And he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez.
Boxing analyst Showbiz The Adult doubts Crawford's ability to handle Canelo's punches, suggesting the power gap could be decisive. He believes Crawford might struggle to absorb Canelo's heavy blows. Crawford's choice to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo has raised concerns among boxing experts. Many see skipping multiple divisions to face the super middleweight king as a risky move, potentially leaving Crawford at a major disadvantage due to the weight jump and the challenges it brings.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence "Bud" Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'll be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Tim Bradley offers a more optimistic take, acknowledging Canelo's size but believing Crawford's skills could lead him to victory. He suggests Crawford's technical brilliance and strategic mindset might counter the size gap, giving him a real shot to win, contrary to the widespread belief favoring Canelo.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Mm-hmm. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. If he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Alexander Usyk offers a fresh perspective, acknowledging the widespread belief in Canelo's victory but arguing Crawford's intelligence and ring IQ could lead him to success. Usyk believes that despite Canelo's size, Crawford's smart fighting style gives him a real chance to win. The Canelo vs. Crawford fight is expected to revive the excitement of boxing's golden era. Fans and analysts are thrilled to see a matchup reminiscent of a time when top fighters clashed regardless of weight differences. This bout is seen as a throwback to when skill and courage defined the sport, sparking widespread excitement.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who
I
do you
like Terence. It's my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence, it's different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
right.
switch hitter.
Yes.
The switch hitter.
Yes. Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very, very, very smart. But feel distance and plays like
adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
But, Canelo big, yeah. Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say Terence.
Wow.
Keyshawn Davis shared his thoughts on the fight, stating that Canelo had his time and excels at adapting to any style, which adds to his greatness. Davis's comments highlight Canelo's versatility and experience, making him a tough challenge for Crawford. While many focus on Canelo's size and power, others believe Crawford's skill and intelligence could level the playing field.
He's going to be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd, and then it's going to be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah, Canelo had his time. Yeah.
Just gonna submit our time.
Yeah, for sure.
What makes Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, like DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Isley. Troy Isley is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes him a great.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.